last week, a former Newsmax host and right-wing shock jock, as they're calling him, by the name of Dick Farrel, died of COVID. Now, Farrell had spent a lot of time during the pandemic trashing Dr. Fauci, calling the entire pandemic a scamdemic, and essentially trying to downplay everything, downplay the effectiveness of the vaccines, casting doubt on those, casting doubt on the pandemic itself, saying, oh, this is Democrats trying to control things. Dies last week from COVID. But before he died, he had one of those come to Jesus moments that we have seen far too often in the people who die from the virus. He texted his friends telling them, go get the vaccine. So here was somebody who had devoted more than a year of his media career to try to convince people that this wasn't real, that this wasn't a big deal, that it was all a scam. And the last thing he did on this earth was tell his closest friends, it's real. Protect yourselves. Get the vaccine. Now he's dead. We also had the story last week of Scott Appley from Texas, Republican official on a county board from Texas. He died of COVID. He died of COVID 5 days after posting anti-vax material on Facebook. Left behind a young, I believe, infant son. Left behind a wife. Dead from COVID. These stories of people dying from COVID after spending a year and a half pretending it didn't exist are becoming far too common. We are now at the point where we're getting at least one per day. And a lot of them all in the same way. Before the person dies, they're tweeting out, they're texting out, they're doing whatever they can. They're calling their loved ones and saying, please get the vaccine. I can't believe I didn't do this. I was too stupid, some of them have said. And that really is what we're looking at here, folks. I'm willing to bet I would never have agreed with anything Dick Farrel ever said, ever, in his political career. And I still wish that that man were alive today. Same thing with Mr. Scott Appley. Same thing with all of these people that are dying because they didn't want to do the one thing that probably would have saved their lives. Every death is a tragedy. Doesn't matter if it's on the right or on the left, if it's a anti-vaxxer or if it's a, whoever. Every death is a tragedy. And it's unnecessary at this point too. Stories like this are hard. Stories like this are getting very, very hard to report on. But I do want to continue to do this because hopefully they get through to some people. Hopefully this acts as the wake-up call when you hear these stories of people gasping in their final breaths saying, I wish I'd gotten the vaccine. Asking their doctors, can I still get it? And the doctor having to tearfully tell them, I'm sorry, but it's too late. That's the country we're living in now. And that's a country that has been consumed with misinformation. I'm Farron Cousins, and for David Pakman, we'll be right back.